So I love this because I'm a photographer.
Okay.
I was like, but where the hell did this come from?
Uh-oh. Dropped it. Blooper reel.
Uh-oh. Hold on.
I didn't want to use my hand. It's too late.
Gotta get that B-roll footage of the food too. Oh, is that calamari good?
Great.
Great. So changing the frames does not correct the focus. Oh, this is snazzy B-roll shot, by the way. For a better view, you must correct the lens, the frames. Just hold this lens in place, but do nothing for the vision. Sometimes we have to focus on the things that look good without realizing we have to focus on the focus. Now, I'm assuming the picture in the sense is business.
It can be whatever you want it to be, really.
In this sense, when you were writing it, what were you focusing this on?
Focusing on motivating people that I don't know. Like, I can motivate people that I know, right? Because I can sit there and talk to people all the time. But if I know 10 people, I can't talk to all 10 on the phone at the same time. So my focus was reaching as many people as I can, and the strangers, of course, by just doing this one book. So you might go into this book and pick something out of it that worked for you. Somebody might pick the 4th quote. Somebody might pick the 9th quote. I can talk to all of y'all, but if I'm busy and I can't talk to everybody, but if something in there you was able to pick up from, I still helped you. So that was my focus. And also my focus was also get my feet wet to see if I can do this. Now, me changing the frame would be, all right, I know I can do it because I'm an artist. If you can write one thing, you can write another thing, right? But changing the focus is writing music and writing a book is 2 different types of writing. So let me focus on the actual writing and not the concept of me writing.
Yeah, because this is bringing you out of your frame as an artist. So how is the adjustment of writing for a book as opposed to writing a song or writing a hook or writing a contract?
Well, for me, it's not that much different because I write songs the same way I wrote the book to people. So the majority, if not all of my songs are first person, like I experienced or I thought about it. I'm talking to people. So the book, I'm talking to people. Only thing different is I'm putting that one in the form of rhythm, into to music, to hear. This one is for the readers, because people who might read this book might not listen to the music. People who listen to the music might not read the book, vice versa, you know, things like that. So if you read but don't listen, this is for you. If you listen and don't read, then the music is for you. Because I have songs that are going to speak on motivation. I have songs that already speak on stuff like that. So, you know, at the end of the matter of fact, Code Yellow, I dropped the project the same day that I dropped the book.
Yes.
The 4th track on it is called Motivated.
Yes.
Where I was
Dope song, by the way.
Thank you. Where I was switching lanes of the sound on the EP, but I was also speaking on me being in different eras of music that people can hear me on these different types of sounds, right? This book is called Moments of Motivation. So if you heard that song but didn't read the book, I'm still speaking on something about being motivated to do something different. If you read this is motivating you to push for what you want to do. So it's still talking to people, it's just different ways. So for me, it's not really much of a difference, in my opinion.
What was your target demographic with this, though? Because you said you wanted to reach people outside of your circle. So your circle contains rappers, influencers of the hip-hop industry. What were you trying to go for if it was outside of that?
If it was the person who is the entrepreneur, the go-getter, the one that's traveling to and from work or school or whatever the case may be, majority of the people that I know that are in my network, I see them at clubs and stuff. You're not reading a book at clubs. I'm not performing.
I mean, unless you're me.
Right, but I'm not performing those type of songs at clubs. But some of those people are entrepreneurs. Once you become an artist, you're already an entrepreneur, right? But some people are more readers. They go to the shows because they support somebody, not because they like the music in a sense, or because they want to see everybody else. They go just because you asked me to go, I'm gonna go. But you might be a reader. If you're a reader, then there's a book for you to read with the same motivation I can speak to you about. But if you don't know me, who's to say you're gonna listen to me? Who said that you're gonna talk to me to get that type of motivation? But if you see that, and it's like, oh, this is motivational. I don't know who wrote this book, but I like it, right?
Yeah.
Meanwhile, it's the same person that you wasn't gonna speak to at that club because you didn't know. The same person that you probably didn't listen to the music at that club because you didn't come for their sound. You came for somebody else's sound. You know, when we do shows, you get booked for different things. So I might be booked with an artist whose audience is totally different.
Yeah.
So I wanted to speak to everybody really, but more so the entrepreneur, the person who has time to sit down and go to work, go to school, and things like that. So that's what it was for.
So you mentioned while you were talking about this, about an artist being an entrepreneur. Do you feel like most artists in your scene, or I guess the New York scene, consider themselves entrepreneurs because you see many that are focused for the culture and less about the business aspects of the industry?
Yeah, I do see that less amount of artists focus on being an entrepreneur. Not understanding once you become an artist and put it to the public, you start building a business because your business is your brand, right?
Yes.
So you already start that, so you're already doing business. But then they drop the ball because they're doing it for the love and like you said, for the culture. So the majority of them are not focused on being an entrepreneur and being a business. They want to get to the goal, but not understanding what that path is and not understanding what that goal is.
So like what would that include? Like getting their publishing that they don't know about? How to book proper studio sessions? Like, you know, where's a lane that you could kind of help use this platform you're making right now to help within your community?
Just so people can understand that the business, the game, whatever it is you're doing is about understanding. So we speaking about artists. A lot of the artists that I know, they don't understand that most of the things that they do, somebody else would have been doing it for them if they were in a company, right? But they don't want to be in a company, they want to be independent. So now when they realize they got to pay for certain things, they like, wait a minute, I shouldn't be paying for this. But if you was with a company, they would have paid it. You would have owed them back. And that's why people owe companies money, because they got to recoup, right? So if you cut them out, who's left to pay for it?
You.
Right. So the reality is your dream, you the one, that's your dream. Remember the other quote?
Yes.
The reality is your dream is yours. If you want to be an artist to get to wherever you want to get to without the company, the reality is you got to focus on the goal. The goal is this need to be paid for, this costs money, you're responsible for it. So those two quotes actually tie in together, because now the changing the frames doesn't correct the focus, right? So if these artists say I don't want to go to a record company, I want to do it myself, all you did was change the frame. The focus is still that artist. Who's paying for this artist to be an artist? They don't want to pay for a lot of the stuff, and then when they do pay for it, they don't understand things like books. So when you get the profit margin, so your losses and your profits, your gross and your net, a lot of the artists don't understand those things. So when they don't understand it, they get angry and frustrated, not realize it's all part of business. So a lot of them don't understand that part.
And this is why people don't realize how dangerous it is to be an independent artist.
Mm-hmm.
Because, for an example, if Drake went independent, he don't care how much money he would have to pay in order to push out himself, because if he didn't have the backing of a label, he could fund his own music.
Right, and that's the thing about it. A lot of artists these days think that they can't fund their own music, when in actuality they can. All you need is the time to learn. If you learn how to do certain things, you cut out your expenses. So for me, for example, if I didn't want to go to the studio, to somebody else's studio, I won't go to somebody else's studio.
You'll make your own.
I make my own, because I know how to engineer, I know how to mix, I know how to record. So it takes time to learn these things, but by me taking that time, it saves me money later to make a bigger profit at the end.
Yes.
Right? A lot of artists don't want to do that. They want to get to the end goal. Well, the end goal to get there faster is going to cost you money, but you don't want to pay for it. And when you do pay for that, you feel like, well, I paid for thing A and B, I don't want to pay for thing C now, I done spent all my money. Well, you didn't budget. Budget is a part of business. A lot of them don't understand that part.
Yeah, because then whoever is fronting you, for an example, even if they give you a royalty check or an advance, you still got to make sure that everything you do pays them back before they could see any extra.
Right. So before a company pays you back, they got to get their cut back.
Yes.
So if you're funding your own project,
you just gotta wait till you recoup and then you get your own money back.
So if you gotta recoup, why the company don't have to recoup? And people don't understand that a lot of artists don't make money doing music. They make the money doing shows, branding, things like that. So if the smallest amount of money you make is coming from music, that means the record company loses money. Why do you think they started doing 360 deals? Because like if we're not gonna make the money from the music, we gotta get it from other things. But artists don't like that. Because they shouldn't like it, but then they should understand why they're doing it.
Why it's happening.
Yeah.
And that's what they're not taking the time to figure out.
Right.